Never have I ever exposed my girlfriend's old life, so I broke up that same night too. I dumped my girlfriend because of something she admitted during a party game. We'd been together 14 months. She kept a toothbrush at my place, left clothes in my drawer, and we'd started talking about moving in after my lease ended. On Saturday night, we went to my buddy's 25th birthday. 8 of us were crammed into his living room, pizza on the counter, music loud, everyone tipsy and laughing. Around 11 p.m. someone said, "Never have I ever." We sat in a circle and held up fingers. The first questions were harmless. Skipped class, lied to your parents, people dropped fingers, told quick stories, and the whole thing felt goofy. Then my buddy's girlfriend asked, "Never have I ever been with more than one person in the same year." My girlfriend dropped a finger right away. No smile, no just kidding. She stared at the carpet and took a drink. A couple people cheered and laughed like it was a fun confession. I just froze. I kept looking at her, waiting for her to meet my eyes. She wouldn't. The game kept going and I started hearing every question like it was aimed at me. "Never have I ever had a casual thing." She dropped another finger. "Never have I ever kissed someone I met that night." Another finger. My stomach twisted harder each time, like it was counting for me. Someone teased her, "Okay, okay," and she forced this tiny shrug like she didn't care. Then another guy said, "Never have I ever been with more than 10 people." She dropped a finger again, calm and fast. My hands started shaking so bad I had to set my cup down. I felt stupid sitting there pretending it was normal. One more question hit and my chest got tight. "Never have I ever been with someone whose name I didn't even know." She dropped another finger. She didn't look proud. She looked trapped. That made it worse because it meant it was real. I leaned over and whispered, "Come with me." I grabbed her hand and pulled her down the hall into my buddy's bedroom. I shut the door. The music outside sounded like it was in a different world. She crossed her arms and said nothing, like she knew what was coming. I asked, "How many?" She sighed and said, "Does it matter?" I said, "It matters to me." Her eyes stayed on the wall. 13, maybe 15. I stopped counting sophomore year. I felt my face go hot, then cold. 15? I said. My voice came out thin. I told her I'd been with 3 people, total. She finally looked at me and her eyes were wet. I asked about the other thing, the one that made my brain feel like it was buzzing. She swallowed. "Twice," she said. "Spring break junior year. 2 guys. It was dumb. I wasn't thinking." My stomach flipped like I might throw up. She reached for my hand and I pulled away. She whispered, "Please, not here. Let's go home and talk like adults." I didn't trust myself to stay in that room. I opened the door, walked past the living room, grabbed my keys, and left without saying goodbye. She followed me out like a shadow. In the car, she started talking before I even hit the main road. "That was years ago. I'm not that person. It didn't mean anything." I stared at the highway and kept driving. The only thing in my head was numbers, and that one word, twice. She kept trying to explain, talking faster when I stayed quiet. "You never asked. I didn't lie. I just didn't think it mattered." I finally said, "You knew I was serious. You knew this would matter to me." She cried and said, "I thought you loved me for me." I said, "I do, but I can't unhear it." The drive to her place was only about 20 minutes, but it felt like forever. When we pulled into her complex, she didn't get out right away. She looked at me with mascara starting to run and said, "Please come inside. Just 5 minutes." I shook my head. She grabbed my sleeve. "Don't end us in a parking lot," she begged. I said, "I'm ending it," and pulled my arm back. She got out crying under the streetlight, still talking as I drove away. When I got home, her stuff was everywhere, like she owned the place. I shoved her toothbrush and makeup bag into a grocery bag and set it by the door. My phone lit up with her calls. I let them ring. Then came the texts. "Please, open up. I love you." I typed back, "There's nothing to explain. We're done," and hit send. A little later I heard knocking, then harder knocking, then her voice on the other side of my door, breaking as she begged me to let her in. I stood there in my hallway, staring at the lock, not moving. The knocking stopped, and something slid under the door. When it got quiet, I opened it, and she was gone. A handwritten note was on the floor. It said those choices were a different version of her, and I was the one she chose now. I read it once, then again, then I crumpled it up and threw it in the trash. My phone buzzed one more time from a new number. "I'm sorry. Please don't hate me." I didn't answer. I blocked that number too. Now my friends are saying I'm insecure for ending it. Was I wrong?